Hey guys, this is actually a first video of mine on YouTube here. I'm trying to show everyone how to do the Gaucho fan knot from a 4-bight long Turk's head knot. There's been a lot of folks asking questions about it, and I'll try to do my best here to show exactly how it's done. You want to start on the left-hand side, following your lead strand of the base knot. So start on the left-hand side. The best advice I can give you is do everything that this strand does to the right of your working end. So again, we start to the left-hand side. And as this strand goes over, we go over the strand of the base knot. So again, all you're doing is following the black strand to your right. Same thing, do everything all the way down to the end by just following that lead strand. Okay, at the end here you want to exit from underneath the knot. So you go over, just as again that lead strand does, and go under the bight at the end of your base knot. Coming into the knot, since you've exited the knot underneath, you're going to go over your first knot, or your first end rather. The one thing about this that I found is that the bights at the end of the base knot tend to get sucked up into the knot as you're working on it. So I always try to pull down on these bights as I'm working on them, just so they don't, get out of line. So again, now that we're on the left-hand side, we're following this strand as we go along the knot. When we get to pairs, we're splitting those pairs, but we're doing exactly what this strand is doing, regardless of what it's crossing. So we'll go through this and I'll show you how it works. So as this strand goes over that standing end, we're going to go over this, but we're going to split these pairs. So you're actually going to go over both of them. Actually, I lied. I'm going underneath, so over this and under, because we want to go under the black. So we're going to split from underneath. And bear with me, I haven't tied a lot of these, so kind of learning as I go as well. Alright, so again, looking at this base strand here, we're going to go over. So we're going to go over the black, under, same thing, this one goes under, so we're going to go under and split the pairs from underneath. Go over, under, over, and then we are going to split this pair at the end. So at the end of that second run, you're going to end up going over 2. 1, 2. And again, now you're exiting the knot going over. So we're going to start this side going under. Again, following that lead strand from your base knot. Again, do everything that this lead strand does. So over, under. Now it's going under the black, and we have a pair here. So in order to get under that black, we need to split the pairs, but this time we're going to split them from the top. So we're going to go in and under that standing end. Again, following that strand, going over, under, Same thing here. We want to go over, but we want to go under this strand. We have a pair here, so we want to split it going in from the top. Over, under. Okay, now here's where I was saying where your bights get lost. So make sure to pull your bights out at the end here. Alright? This isn't a pair here, so we're actually going over both of these. As you can see, it doesn't, you don't have an entrance. They're not side by side on either one of these sides. So this technically isn't a pair here. So you're going to go follow this strand, go over both, and exit the knot underneath. Alright, moving on. Again, pull your bights down. Since we exit it, we're going to start by entering the knot, over. Again, pull those bights down. Make sure to keep pulling them down so you can kind of keep track of things here. And again, following this end. So we have a pair. And now we're going to split going in from the top. We're going over this standing end here. And we're going to split. And we're going to go under and split this pair from underneath. Again, all you want to pay attention to is that adjacent strand to the right hand side. So as you can see, it goes over the black. You're going to go over, under. It goes over this black. We have a pair, so we split from the top. The following is going under, and it also has a pair, so we're going to split from the bottom. Okay? Going over the black, under, splitting pairs, going over, and lastly under, splitting a pair. At the end of this side, you're going over two. Since you ended this run going over, we're going to start by going under. Again, following your adjacent strand. Over, under. Okay, now there's a pair here. So you actually have to go from under because we want to get over that black strand there. So under that blue. Again, that's just splitting the pair. Okay, and as you can see, the next move is going over this black, under the next, and we have another pair. So we're going to go and split this pair. You really just have to try to understand what your lead strand of your first knot is doing, and then split pairs based upon what that first strand does. So again, we go over, under. Splitting pairs going from underneath because you want to get over that black strand. This is a pair here, so we're going to split that going in and under the black. Over, under. Another pair, so we're going under, right, because we want to split this pair. In order to get over that black, we need to go from underneath. Here, make sure to pull that bight out. The black is always going to be underneath, so make sure that you continue to pull them out. Again, sometimes that can get confusing. You're going to go over both of these strands because that's not a pair. You're going to exit underneath. Go into your next strand, pull that bight down. We're going to have one more bight to deal with at the end here. So we want to, since we exited under, we're going over. And then we have a pair, so we're going to split that from underneath. Like I said, I can kind of get a little funny here with these bights. So I'm just going to pull that down and try to get that in line there. So again, we're following that blue or the base strand. We're going over, splitting the pair, going under, splitting the pair. It's all about what that adjacent strand does to the other strand of the base knot. Going over and under, splitting pairs. Again, over, watching that black, splitting, underneath, splitting. Going over, under. Over, splitting pairs. Actually, we're going to go over and split this pair. And again, we're exiting the knot over too. Once we exit over, we enter under. Following that black strand, we're going over and under, splitting pairs. Need to get underneath of this blue to split the pair, to get over top of that black. Splitting pairs over this black, under. Splitting pairs to get under the black. Splitting from underneath so that you can get over that black. Splitting here to get under. Going over, splitting to get under the black. Going underneath, splitting that pair. Okay. Pull the bight out. Again, they tend to get sucked in there. You're over two, exiting from underneath. This is the last run. This is where you have a tendency of your bights kind of running over one another. Again, your black is always going to be on top, so you want to use that knot. So we've got to pull that down a little bit to kind of get in there. They again tend to get a little funny, so just try to play with them a bit. If you're able to pin down your base knot, you're probably in much better shape than I am, but you know, this is kind of how I'm doing it. Exiting the knot from underneath, going over, splitting pairs, And again, you're going to split pairs the whole way through here. Doing exactly what this knot does. Just splitting and splitting. In this last run, you're splitting all pairs. And you're ending the knot over 2, and you should come right back to your standing end. And that's it. And you can run this line down through the middle of your knot to keep it nice and uniform. But essentially, that's your Gaucho fan knot. Guys, I hope this helped. Like I said, bear with me. This is my first YouTube video. Just had a lot of requests from folks on Facebook and some of the knotting groups, and wanted to put this out there for everybody. Hope it helps. Good luck with it. I do use Tom Hall's book on the Gaucho fan knot as a form of guidance. He bases his on the 5x4 Turk's head, which is a good starting point. I had to do that a couple of times in order to actually get this knot to work and get a better understanding of it. But a little bit of patience, a little bit of understanding, but keep in mind, follow that base knot, do whatever it does. When you get to a pair, split it. Just be very conscious of if you're splitting from on the top or underneath. But you know, as you continue through it, I'm sure it'll become a little bit easier for you. Good luck.